There was a time when Singapore saw the dying as already dead. With taboos all around, the dying went to the death houses on Sago Lane to wait for death. It was only in 1986, when I was just a young child, that the first 16 hospice beds emerged. The patients there were better served by volunteers who persevered against all odds and ignited the hospice movement in Singapore. I know the Singapore palliative care story well because my mother was part of the movement. It's a movement that refuses to die, she would say. There were 5 hospice services by 1992, all canvassing for support individually. What a waste of resources to work on their own, my mother said then. There are so many shared needs in the sector. We should come together to coordinate these needs. And so, Singapore Hospice Council was born. My mother's stories of a mentor. Her leadership laid the foundation for hospice and palliative care today. But more than that, my mother shared, she was compassionate towards patients, volunteers, and staff. heard many more stories of compassion from the early years, from crouching onto the ground to nurse a patient who wouldn't sleep on a bed, to buying chocolate cakes for patients. This compassion has inspired a new generation of people to care for the dying. And today, palliative care is more life-giving than ever. Now, this is me. I am too tired for much these days. Thank goodness for John, who volunteers to come by and cut my hair every month. I always look forward to visits from my palliative care team too. When I feel the great unfairness of my situation, my lovely social worker sits by me in silence. And when silence feels deafening, my wonderful music therapist comes to rock out with me. What a lovely feeling to be so cared for. And I hear such stories of love from my fellow patients too. I hear stories of magical nurses whose hugs could help patients who can't sleep fall into a restful sleep at once. I feel acts of love endure through time when a doctor receives a call from the child of her patient years ago. He has just graduated and is going to be a palliative care doctor like me. Indeed, I am grateful for the people who keep this movement alive. Just as I've brought the history and the many stories of palliative care to life, they have brought life to my numbered days. The love, care and compassion I've received echo the words of Dame Cicely Saunders. You matter because you are you, and you matter to the end of your life. We will do all we can not only to help you die peacefully, but also to live until you die.